Tony, morning. Thanks for being with us. Do appreciate your time. I know that preparations are quite busy for you at the moment. How's the closed season been for you, first of all?
It's been busy. It's frustrating at times. Trying to get things over the line. It's very difficult, but trying to be patient, make sure we get the right players. We're here the day before the kick-off, and we're still a couple short, I would think, of where we want to be. But it's a long season, and I'm sure that what you find is the Premier League clubs all come back. They've been on their tours around the world, to Australia and America and Malaysia, and then the managers decide what their squads are going to be, and the excess of those very talented young footballers generally want to go out and play rather than playing under 21 football, and they become available. And so we've been waiting and been talking to a lot of managers about what players might be allowed to come out and help us hopefully have a good season. We felt last year that the loan players are very important at this club, and hopefully we can get the right ones.
You're right, isn't it? So, and I don't think people appreciate sometimes just how fluid it is. It's like trying to do a jigsaw without the picture on the box, and you're trying to put all those pieces into place. Did you, at the end of last season, I'm guessing you didn't rush into making any decisions, Tony, about what you needed, whether you go to experienced loan players, whether you give opportunity to the youngsters, whether you do a mix of all of that? Did you kind of have a rough idea of what you wanted to achieve, even if you didn't know what those names would be?
Yeah, I think so. First and foremost, I try and follow the way I believe football should be played, and look for the types of players that can fit into that. You mentioned a jigsaw puzzle. You're putting a jigsaw puzzle together, really. If you want to create a team that can try and play with the ball and create chances, then you need technical players who can do that. And so, yes, you're scouring around. First and foremost, at the end of the season, it was pretty new to me at this level of football, where practically more than half of your team disappears out of contract. It's a strange scenario. The positive, of course, is that you get a blank sheet of paper, really, to try and build another team. And the negative is that you lose that continuity. There's some good players that left. And we find ourselves now looking at the contracts and talking constantly about, we've got some decent footballers here and they're coming into their last year, and how do we try to keep them if money's very tight, of course, of trying to improve contracts on players that you really like. It's about trying to build a football club, I think, and give it some foundations, and it is difficult. It is bit by bit, because sometimes if you just throw it all together, you're just hoping that it falls into place. And invariably, when it doesn't, you're scrambling around, really, and it's very difficult if you think sitting at your desk and the phone rings 100 times a day, and 75 of them are agents who are all telling you you've got the great players for you. It's literally, there's thousands of players come across your desk every pre-season, and it's just trying to pick the right ones, really, the right balance of character, age, personality, assets, and put it together.
And it's time scale as well, isn't it? I mean, you look at that and you say, well, the one advantage is you've got a clean piece of, a blank piece of paper for you to start. But you've got to get that as some kind of team up to speed, cohesive, playing with each other as a team, and you've got to get results right out the trap, haven't you? So it's not as if the blank sheet of paper helps you in that way, does it?
No, and that's the difficult bit, really. We understand that in an ideal world we get off to a flying start, and the good people of Coventry who have the club at heart get excited and want to come back and support their team, and yet there's no guarantee that's going to happen. As I've said to you right at the start, we're still 3 or 4 players, in my opinion, away from having a squad to really compete. And yet I'm hopeful that those players over the next few weeks before this window closes, or the month or so after, when the window's still open regarding loan transfers, that we can put a team together that will be very competitive over the course of the season. And ultimately, like in any season, it's really how you finish rather than how you start. And yet at this football club at the moment, we would like to start well and reignite the passion for the team, but if we can build a strength and a quality and a depth in quality as the months go on, and the team becomes stronger and stronger, then that's ultimately got to be the longer term goal, that we're putting foundations down that can give us some consistency of results as we move forward.
And what about pre-season friendly performance? Because I mean, I heard you say, and it's a cleft stick, isn't it? Because fans want you to win. They want to go and see the Sky Blues scoring goals. They want to see them creating chances. They want to see that the back's looking quite solid. But you, as you say, you haven't got all your ducks in a row yet. You haven't got all the names that could make your season for you. So you're still in that experimental phase. Is that frustrating, do you think, Tony? Because you have a job to do and fans have an expectation.
Yeah.
They're not always the same thing, are they?
No. I say this constantly, that a football manager's job, you have to first and foremost have a very thick skin, of course, because every supporter of your club wants to win every game, and when you don't win, you were there for criticism of why didn't you pick him, why didn't you do this, why did you make them substitutions, surely you've got to play him up front, why are you bringing everybody back from corners, why don't you leave 3 up? There's lots of scenarios that managers get questioned on everything, but you have to be single-minded, you have to know where you're going. As long as you've got a plan in your own mind, you can put your head on the pillow at night and go to sleep and know that your plan is hopefully coming into place. As a potentially defeats come along, you have to ride the wave of criticism that comes your way and just keep looking forward with the plan, and that's what you have to have something to lean against, and that's it really. Me knowing how we are building the team, knowing that we're still a little bit short, knowing that we do need strengthening in certain areas, but waiting for the right ones. We could have had 6, 7, 8 strikers this week alone, never mind the week before and the week before. But are they the right strikers just because an agent tells you that this little guy from France or from Poland or from Germany or who's been a world beater in the second division or in the conference and scored 10 goals but has been released by his club is going to help Coventry get out of the league? All of those scenarios are running through your brain all the time.
You've got to try and figure out whether you're comparing apples with apples as well when you're talking about other European or international leagues. No, I get that. I've got to ask you about, and I don't want to get you into trouble politically with the club, but I've got to ask you about noises off and how much that helps you. And people were saying that the other day, that Steve Waggett would kind of shot himself in the foot with the way that if you buy season tickets we can spend some money phrase on Facebook and on social media was worded. That can't help you. Do you ever go into Steve Waggett and say, Steve, can you just do us a favour? Can you just stay in your office and keep quiet for a bit?
So what I would say first and foremost about Steve Waggett is he does have the club at heart. He's been in football.
And I wouldn't chat. Absolutely, but you just kind of think, oh, Steve, do us a favour, say nothing.
Right. Well, you said that, not me. But listen, what I do know is that he's a very good man. His heart's in the right place, and he wants us to do well. He's trying to help me, and I can understand what he was trying to say. I think for me, I've never put any demands on supporters of football clubs. I think I understand fully that the team, you will come back if the team are winning, entertaining, scoring goals, and it's exciting, and you want to go along. And I've always thought that the lads who've been to the game and they go to the pub on the night and they say to the mates, wow, what a day it was, the atmosphere was great. The lads who hadn't gone to the game want to come along next week, and so let's try and put a winning team on the pitch. Let's try and bring people back to the Rico by entertaining football and hopefully winning football at the top end of the league, and the people get excited again. But off the pitches, sometimes there's not a lot I can do, but I concentrate on the grass. As today, we've just been sorting the session out. How many's training today? Are we ready for it? What sort of day are we going to have? We've done a lot of preparation for Wigan this week. Today will be a light day for them. Just make sure they're ready. And let's hope we can find the performance tomorrow and get us off on the right foot, trying to make the Rico this season. Obviously, that's the challenge for us all, to make the Rico Arena, as Shankly once said, a bastion of invincibility, if we can. A place where teams come and fear coming because they know they're going to be in for a tough day.